Hello everybody, it's Prue here and I am doing this video about the full moon that's happening in the early hours at 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 27th of April. And I'm just aware that as I'm recording this video, every hour of the day is connected to a planet. And I always find that when I do videos during Saturn, Saturn's a planet connected to limitation, among other things, my videos always take about I don't know, 4 or 5 takes. It's almost like things just don't really flow. And actually, when I'm recording this right now, we are in the hour of Mars. And Mars is about action, moving forward. It's really about assertiveness in many ways. So I'm aware that I don't want to gallop through this video. There might be a sense of like getting things done fast, getting it done, because Mars is very much action orientated. So I just have to have that awareness as I'm recording this, that this isn't like a kind of a fast gallop to the end, because I really want us to understand how can we make the most of our full moon energy, because full moons are really powerful points of our month. And if we think about our ancestors, what they would have lived much more in tune with the moon cycle, especially the ancestors that lived before electricity. So the way they would have lived, worked, played would have been very much to do with what was going on in the moon. So, you know, on a full moon, there would have been a lot more light. So there would have been this opportunity for them all to meet and connect. And there is this sense that we are much more sociable when it comes to a full moon. We're much more wanting to connect. We're much more fertile. And there is a sense that, you know, yes, feelings and emotions are often raised around a full moon, but in many ways that can make us seek out other people's companies in a way that we just don't have during a new moon, which tends to be much more insular, doesn't it, really? It tends to be around a new moon that we might want to just crave our own company, where we're just reflecting inwards. So the full moon is opposite of that. It's an intensity, it's a peak of the lunar cycle in many ways. So feelings can really get increased around this full moon time. So we can see that in ourselves, or we can see that in others. People who are born under a full moon tend to be much more affected around the full moon cycle. They tend to really maybe find that their emotions can be increased or elevated, or maybe perhaps less tolerant, or perhaps more sociable. You know, let's not put a label on, you know, how they may be feeling, but they tend to be more impacted if you were born under a full moon. So this full moon is in Scorpio. So what does that mean? Well, it means that with Scorpio at 7 degrees, wherever you have your astrology chart, look at where 7 degrees is at. And I'm going to do a separate video on how to find that in your natal chart. So just sign up to my Moon Tribe, which is at my website, pruenichols.com. And then you can get the video about how to find out where it is in your natal chart. It's very simple, but sometimes it can feel complicated. It's like anything, isn't it? When you don't know how to do it, it always feels like a bit harder. So at 7 degrees of Scorpio, it lets us know exactly where it is in our astrological chart, because Scorpio is one of the most deepest, most magnetic, most powerful, one of the most intense astrology signs that we have. You know, I always think nothing stays hidden under a full moon, and my God, nothing stays hidden under a Scorpio full moon. Scorpios are like the natural detectives. They want to lift up the stone. They want to get to the secret, the heart of the matter. What is not being shown, they will find it. And my precious friends that have their moon in Scorpios, you know, there is that real sense that they can't necessarily let things go until they've got the truth of the matter. So there is an intensity. There is a sense of being more comfortable in the darkness, for being more comfortable perhaps in the areas of taboos, with secrets, anything that's been hidden that isn't necessarily out there in society. Scorpio brings it to light, and Scorpio brings it to light for healing and transformation. Whenever we see the astrological sign of Scorpio, it's always about rebirth in some way. It's about changing it for the better, bringing it up to the light. Now that's not always comfortable, is it? Because sometimes we have to look at areas of ourselves that we don't necessarily want to. There's a reason we've suppressed parts of ourselves that we don't particularly perhaps want to see, or we've suppressed issues or feelings. But actually what we know is, for wholeness, for healing, for us to be the best versions of ourselves, we need to embrace the darkness and the light. So this full moon is a wonderful opportunity for us all to get the torches out and look at our skeletons in the cupboard. What is it that we are hiding from? What is our greatest fear? What is stopping us living the best version of ourselves? Because this full moons are always about illumination. So what is it in your life that's being illuminated? So looking at where 7 degrees of Scorpio is will help us realize what area of your life that is. And I'm just thinking where 7 degrees of Scorpio sits for me. Well, it sits in my house of values. So that's really interesting. It's very much connected to possessions. What is it that I value? Money. How do I make money? How do I spend money? So it's really asking me to look at parts of myself. Just I hesitated then for a moment, going, oh, do I really want to go there right now on this video? It's a wonderful opportunity for me to really look at what am I really about? What is my integrity? What are my values? And what is hidden from myself? Because often full moons can bring up conversations, or I might read something, or there's often more information given to us. So it's a really great time to go and proactively seek that information. So I could really dig deep in this area. I could go and meet this darkness in whatever way that would be. And I always think around Scorpio, it's a time for you to trust your instincts. Around full moons, our intuition is always at its height. Now, there's often that thing, isn't there, about, everyone acts a bit mad around a full moon. If we're going to watch a horror movie, anytime anyone's going to turn into a zombie, a werewolf, an axe murderer, you're always going to see a flashed up full moon on the screen. And I think it's about the full moon connects us to our instinctive responses. It's really how we're feeling underneath. We just can't suppress it anymore. So if we've had a long time of basically pushing down any big issues in our life, then actually this isn't really, it's going to be coming out our kind of our anger or frustration. So anything, I know lunacy is so connected, and they, often more babies are born under a full moon, and if we have an accident, we're going to bleed more under a full moon. It's more cleansing under a full moon. So take heed that anything that comes up, whether that be anger or you're in a werewolf or you maybe turn into a zombie, it's because it's come up for cleansing in many ways. There's a reason why it's appearing right now. Embrace and allow anything to come up, because Scorpio is one of the most powerful signs. So anything that is calling you right now, whatever area of your life this Scorpio full moon is appearing, take heed, because this is a really fantastic opportunity. And of course, there'll be another one next year, but let's really go to town and make the most of this one. Sending you lots of love. Enjoy this full moon energy. It's there to help show us what it is that we don't see in our day-to-day life.